Alrighty, how is everyone doing today? Welcome to my channel. This is a channel for educational purposes. We check out great theories, concepts, and discoveries that you're probably not familiar with because they've been suppressed, uh, confined to the margins, taken out of the box, and you have to do some digging to get to them. And often the subjects are of a difficult nature, either emotionally or intellectually difficult, but they are of vital importance. And in particular, for this patriot movement and this, um, world patriot uh, movement, uh, I think we're going to beat the globalists. But that doesn't mean that we're going to have something solid to move forward on. And I don't believe that we do. We haven't quite done enough digging. We haven't done quite enough deconstructing. And so that's where I come in here for these videos. This is a series that's called the Q-tip of the spear. I think this is about number 35. And this is where I talk about some of the podcasts that I've taken in over the last day or two, and that just some of my reflections on those. I try to pay attention to the tip of the spear, and I try to pay attention to that 17th letter and those communications. Um, and I really do believe that we're not going to be able to move forward on the basis of Christianity because Christianity is not real. It is a psychological operation just like everything else. But going back to the first century AD, the Romans are the true authors of the New Testament, and it can be proven, has been proven by me on this channel, also by Michael Menescotts in his book Christianity's Origin, and Joseph Atwill in his two books, Caesar's Messiah and Shakespeare's Secret Messiah. And it's also been argued by a number of other authors. Um, but you can prove it to yourself. If you check out the work of Josephus, Christians like to cite Josephus as being one of the corroborating uh, authors, not in the Bible, that corroborates the existence of Jesus. And that is because they are citing an author that they haven't read. If they would read Josephus, they would recognize that Josephus's work is strong evidence against the existence of Jesus, because actually you can see that Josephus is the author of the Gospels. Whoever wrote Josephus also wrote the Gospels. There are too many parallels between the two, and they are in a conversation with one another. They're bouncing back and forth, one parody in one direction and then another in another direction. And we know that Josephus was writing from Caesar's palace, and that he had the strong endorsement of Emperor Titus, of the Flavian dynasty of Caesars from 69 to 96 AD. So I don't know exactly if Josephus really existed or if he was a pen name, but Josephus was being issued by the Caesars, and Josephus serves as a model for the Gospels, the book of Luke especially, but also the Gospels, in a certain way, serve as a model for War of the Jews. They both kind of riff on each other, meaning that they were written by the same people at the same time for the same reason. But, you know, the reason why nobody in the patriot movement gets this or even ever discusses it is because there is a widespread epidemic amongst the patriots that they virtue signal to the Bible and they virtue signal to Jesus. Most of them are not really very religious. Most of them, are Christian nominally. They haven't really read their Bible. They're trying to read it a little bit at a time. Or maybe they listen to the 100, inspiring verses of the Bible. Um, but they know their friends or their family is into it, so they kind of give it this level of deference. And you can just see it happening. I saw it in a few podcasts today, or heard it in a few podcasts today. As soon as Jesus or the Bible is mentioned, the critical thinking faculty goes away, it goes down. They are unable to maintain their critical thinking faculty in the presence of the word Jesus or the word Bible. They immediately go into this kind of bow down to, um, you know, I believe in this regardless of how absurd it is, kind of stance. And so, um, the critical thinking for the Bible, the New Testament in particular, and for just the concept of Jesus, which to me is re repugnant. That you're uh, just even the idea of sacrificing to a god just blows me away. And I can see how it happens because it's like the ancient people, when there's a famine or a drought, they pray to God that pray to the rain God that the drought will end, and they maybe will end up sacrificing something to the god to try to appease the god. These are gods with a small g that are being appeased at best. They and so the fact that Jesus gets roped in with this concept of sacrifice is just, to me, just repugnant. But that's not even, you know, what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that it's false. It's a psychological operation. It never happened. It's a fiction. The Romans created Jesus in order to mellow out the Jews, to tame and domesticate the Jews, to really ultimately graft themselves onto the Jewish tradition, onto the Jewish lineage, really putting an end to Judaism. It didn't quite work, but it worked in a different way. And I don't know that it was intended to put an end to Judaism once and for all, because they did also create a psyop against a different set of Jews, the Pharisaic Jews, to create rabbinical Judaism right at the same time. And in fact, the stories of Josephus and Yohanan ben Zakkai, the leader of the um, uh, rabbinical Judaism movement at the campus at Joffne or something like that, Jobne, something like that. The stories are parallels. They were both captured by the Roman emperor, the general who eventually becomes the emperor, and they both give the emperor the star, or the general, the star prophecy. That is that one day I foresee that you will become the new emperor. And when he does become the new emperor, the Jewish person, Josephus or Ben Zakkai, gets hooked up. And in Josephus's case, he gets brought to Rome, given a townhouse at Caesar's palace and adopted as a member of the family. The Flavian dynasty. He's known as Flavius Josephus. Or in Benzakai's case, he's given a land grant by the Caesars in order to start this campus for the study, endless study of and commentary on the Old Testament scriptures. And that eventually turns into rabbinical Judaism and it turns into the Talmud um, over the course of the centuries. But they're both ways to kind of neutralize the political and military aggressiveness of the Jews and get them diverted into, first of all, the Prince of Peace and the turning the other cheek and rendering unto Caesar's, and then on the other hand, the endless study of minutia within the Torah, the prophets, and the histories of the Old Testament. So in either case, it's just a psychological operation, and I feel like that should have become apparent by now, but it hasn't, because the Patriots have this epidemic of putting down their critical faculties under the incantation of Jesus Christ or the incantation of the Bible. You use either one of those two words, Jesus Christ on one hand or the Bible on the other hand, and the Patriots kind of just go into this trance where they put down, it would be called the mediumistic trance, where they put down their mental faculties, they put down their critical faculties, and they just kind of become receptive and absorb, as opposed to kind of holding it at bay as a truther would do. Instead, you are just kind of gullible, credulous, like, oh, well, this is the word of God, so I can't possibly criticize this. This is God. This is the Son of God. So I can't possibly say anything against this or question this in any way. And until we break that trance, this movement is moribund. It's not going anyplace. And I really do believe that the 17th letter and the boss are literally waiting for you to figure this out. They're waiting for you to call it out because it's in the drops. It's been given lip service by the boss, but they know what the score is. They know who wrote the New Testament. They know that it was written by the Romans. And but they've treated you like a child because you're not ready to go there yet, but you're going to need to be. And so hopefully you don't listen to me, but you get the Book of Josephus, War of the Jews PDF for free online and compare it with your Gospels, especially the Book of Luke. Start with the Book of Luke and start with Josephus in Book 3 when General Titus takes over for his father and starts his military campaign. Compare Titus's military campaign with Jesus's ministry, and you will see that they are the same. Okay, thanks for listening to the Q-Tip of the Spear. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and contribute. And we will return later today for a couple different features, and we will return tomorrow for the next episode of the Q-Tip of the Spear.